Episode 2 of the Legacy of Abhorash. Hope you guys like the little intro that I made here. I will have that play at the beginning of every single one of these episodes. I think it'd be kind of a fun way to kind of ring in the episode. But we're up to our second episode here for the Legacy of Abhorash, and I apologize for any kind of echoing. I'm at my parents' house, and it's not as small of a room, so if that does persist, I apologize. But going over everything, we've got Eastern and Western Sylvania on lockdown. We've got Alpha united there. Now we are starting to move into Averland, and the Empire is really gone hog wild, dude. They have just kind of like taken the basket and gone all the way over to Bretonnia. We do have to be a little mindful of that, because that could mean that they have quite the fat army. So last episode we had just taken Grenstadt. So let's move on over down, probably to Migdal Vungelbrock. Aberheim would be a good target, but we're one direct movement away from Migdal, so we might as well spend the time to just kind of pop that bad boy and take it, so that we don't have to worry about them attacking us from the rear. The rear of the Mega Zeppelin. With the end of the turn, we did get Rosalind von Voldenhoff, our new Banshee, and I will have her kind of prowl and kill characters, because we do get blood kisses every time we assassinate a character. I hope that just means any kind of character and not just lords or anything like that. But let's take a look here at Varison the Blade. Migdal doesn't really have a whole ton. Let's go rain corpses on their parade. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's very doable. All right. We're jumping balls deep into this one. So hopefully we're going to be only looking at around 3 or 4 more turns, but I don't know, man. Or 3 or 4 more episodes. But I don't know. I mean, with how fat the Empire is, this could be something that is a little bit more intensive. I'm recording this video not on Christmas Eve. So by the time this comes out, it will be Christmas Eve. So happy Christmas Eve. Turn and I will be meeting up tonight to play Warhammer 40,000. I know a lot of you guys have been clamoring for such things, so be on the lookout for some kind of update about that. We'll be doing it at a Games Workshop, so we're not going to be doing like a full battle report or anything. Really probably just take pictures. Take pictures of each other's naughty bits. So let's put you guys... Ghouls are really fast by comparison, right? 38 compared to my measly 31 Skeleton Spearmen. So I'm going to use them almost like I would Forsaken on the flanks. They have Pistoliers, so what I'm actually going to do is put the dogs with my cav. 4. And that way I can hunt down any kind of action. Okay, 5. And do it. Initial actions, send these guys up. Cool. The trick here, I'm trying not to trick their skirmisher stance by moving around them. Slow, ponderous black knives. Alright, alright, right, and right into these. Nice. Get these guys out of the fight early. They're just going to annoy me and do actually considerable amounts of damage. I see your poncy head feathers aren't going to rue the day today, Pistoliers. know what? Seems useless, but do that. Okay. Get on out of there, little dogs. Little dire dogs. Let me just take forever to get into place and get impatient. I'm like, no. I'm charging up the front line. I don't give a shit. Okay, that's right there.
Find me if you dare.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. So worth it.
Emperor's mercy on us all.
Die, mortals, die!
And that's just about it. Getting our second settlement sacked and in line. What I'm actually probably going to do is I'm not going to bother maintaining the settlement. I'm probably just going to like loot it and knock it down to ruins and everything like that. It's in the middle of a province that is controlled by two other factions, the Border Princes and the Dwarfs of Karak Hearn. So oh man, I cannot stand having like a singular I don't know what the term is I'm trying to think of. A singular province, or probably a singular settlement inside of a province that I can't control easily. And it's way off track for me, so it's not even really worth going down. So we'll kind of skip over this one. Apologies for the throat clearing. It's that time of year when everyone gets the plague. I may or may not have it. I don't know yet. A decisive victory, my lord. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll sack the settlement, then come back and raise it.
My bloodline calls.
We'll push just back into our own territory.
Night
A little bit
march.
further. Nice, good levels across the way here. Get that steed going. Got a little cavalry commander. You know what? I want more corruption. I want to start putting her out on like missions. The dark one will have do that. And yeah, you can get. Someone had made a comment. You can get Wind of Death on like rank 3. Yeah, you absolutely can. Look at that. Holy crap. Although that's not really going to be our focus for this character. I do want to get Dance Macabre, but I think he starts with it. Yeah, he starts with it. I don't feel like dropping a point in it then in that case. But I'll get Curse of Undeath. But that way, you know, we just get the constant replenishment. And that'll really be the end of specializing in this line entirely. We're now going to drop points into his actual abilities up here. And getting Waking Dead, of course. Waking Dead for his Graveguard and Blood Knight abilities. We do want that so we can get a really cool, strong Graveguard and Blood Knights, because that's going to be the backbone of this army once we get all those buildings unlocked. Let's take a look at infrastructure, huh? Let's do some building. We have quite a bit of money now, so... we've got that there. How far away are we? Get a whole other rank there. Do surplus for this. Okay, we'll get that next turn then. And I do want this because we want to start expanding out to this direction for corruption. We don't really... fuck, the moots right there. Who needs halflings? They smell like pepper. What I do want to build here in Grensot is this. So I want to get Awakened Battlefield so we can just get a fat amount of Raised Dead when we need it. In the meantime, though, yeah, we'll hold off the rest of our funds so that we can, well, I guess we might as well build that. And we'll have 3080 to do this next turn. Okay, good, Anakin. Okay. And our research is good. Let's go ahead and end that turn. So, we went with Varison the Blade rather than just kind of some, nondescript Harkin or even Wallach Harkin. I feel like it's a little bit more fun to go with someone that actually has no real greater lore. Varison the Blade is got footnote mentions. He's very, very scant on the lore behind him. So we don't need to go huge into that. Now, one of our targets, our first target in the Empire, is going to be Nuln. Why Nuln? Well, because nothing says vampires more than a shit ton of fucking cannons. Not true. Not true at all. Nuln has access to the Blood Keep. Blood Keep is historically more around Isleheart, but I guess they wanted to put the Blood Keep in Nuln. That's at least where I remember it being as the unique faction building. We'll take a look in a second here. Once this 550-hour turn ends, finally. You can find all of the mods that I'm using in the comments below. I did comment in our first episode, and I'll do one again at the end of this episode. Or not at the end, I'm sorry. It'll be in the comment section, so you can pop down the first comment. I should have it pinned and everything. A wound activity, critical failure. Oh, Colt Kemp, what a name, tried to wound Reynold Leichenberg. Yeah, Blood Keep is supposed to be, like, right there. Through one of the passes, like Helmgart and such. But Nuln is, like, right there, so I guess that's where we're going to have it. Okay, so trait builder. Good, Varison. Good. Become the builder that our nation needs. Let's do this real quick. Act number 1. Auto-resolve. And raise that ass.
Darkness comes. Are you ready?
That's unfortunately going to cause some attrition, but that also at the same time is going to close the way for all the crap over there. Ooh, another rank. Good. You know what? I want to put him on a nightmare quickly. Huge armor increase. Oh, this guy's going to be so sick when we're done with him. So now we have the White King and him on a mount. The Lord of Shadow's Mistress, I'm going to start sending over to Aberheim to get some corruption going early. Where did Colt Kemp go?
More sleep shines.
That's what the people want to know. Aha! 35% of chance to feed. You know what? That's just fucking racist, just because I'm dead. This already has some good vampire corruption spewing out from it. Oh, I love it. Because and you guys feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, corruption So you look at Grensot, and it says corruption here 20%. That's increasing. That's for the province. So if you have someone who owns a portion of your province, it will increase the vampire corruption even if you are not a vampiric nation. So we'll go for this, and that'll get us access to Graveguard, real good and quick like. We'll have Vladi Dottie make about 4 or 5 and ferry them on over here to Varison, which will be good. We'll pretty much replace almost all these skeleton warriors with them because we're campaign and who gives a shit. In big battles, you have to worry about such things, but that shan't be the case here. Eshin has got, this is a public order building and goodies. We already have a growth building here. We'll go with another growth building. All right. And that turn, nice little quick and easy one. We opened up with a fight too, and we ended with a fight last time, so we've gotten some good fights here in the first hour and a half or so. I don't have my dual monitor set up, so I have no idea how long we've been going so far. We're just going to go until oblivion. There'll be a point where I'll tab and check, but that doesn't matter when we're having fun together, guys, right? This is how we're going to spend our holidays. Tomorrow, because you're listening to this on Christmas Eve, I am putting up a Kislev Army List video, so you'll have that to consume over the Christmas holiday if you're bored or drunk with your in-laws and you need something to consume your time. That'll be there just for you. Should have plenty of fun stuff coming out after that. I want to try and get another one of these videos done for the 25th. Marius Lietdorf. That's interesting. So Marius Lietdorf, we actually have a video on him, is a special character for Empire. You can actually have him as a character. And it looks like they're just giving him as a generic lord here. Well, I refuse your peace treaty, and I will take Averland from you. Meanwhile, Sterling's like, oh, you're killing over a bunch of Empire lands? We don't have a problem with it. I mean, Sterling got fat huge, too. Usually Sterling stays pretty small and gets pretty beat up by vampire counts. But they expanded all the way east and took out Ostermark. So, or Ostlin. I can never remember which one's over on the far right. Whatever one the hourglass is. I think that's Ostermark. Ostlin, I think, is the bull up north. Red eyes are gone. Uh-oh. Storm clouds gather in the north. There are rumors that the barbarous tribes residing in the shadow of chaos have ceased striving against each other. Striving against each other? Huh. For the attention of the dark gods, and are instead banding together. Suckling at the teat of chaos, the hordes grow in strength. It seems only a matter of time before the dam breaks, and a tide of ruin bursts forth to engulf the old world, corrupting or destroying all in its path. Marshal your strength, nurture the sinews of war, build your walls high, gather warriors to your banner, and temper them in the crucible of battle, so that when the time comes, you may yet weather the storm. We're not Kislev here. Averland is almost in full-scale rebellion. Couldn't care less. That's just more corpses for me to summon back up. Alright. We unfortunately can't assassinate. This is going to have a really... Oh, block army 50-50. Well, let's block the army to get her experience up. Yeah, block that army. That'll give her another rank increase and will make her strictly an assassin. That's going to be huge for us. I don't know what to make over here. Oh, yeah, we're waiting for this. The ancient armory. Or as Bane would say, your precious armory. We'll need it. Love this little icon, how it goes to have a little tiny cup right there. Like, I'll just have the one bunch of grapes for lunch. I don't want to have two. I eat 2 bunches of grapes. I get poopy wine poops, and that's just no good for anyone. Alright, so let's send Emmanuel Posner. Right, that's our... Yeah. Go spread that corruption, you dirty bitch.
Track ahead.
+6, that's nice. Okay, and we... What actually I'm going to do here is... Okay, so we can actually get a Necromancer. And that might be a better choice here. Just to have the Necromancer be the one who's ferrying the Lord of Vampires directly into the army a little bit more than Varison. I want Varison mainly to worry about using Van Hels on himself and Invocation to heal himself. Leadership size, disciplined. Stygian Fristo Rictolos. What a name. Let's see, let me get a cool name for him. Oh no. Stygian Von Hell. So, we've talked about this before, but let's take a look at this ability. So, Vashanish, who becomes Vlad von Karstein, when he comes to the lands of Sylvania, way back, before he, goes all deep on it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Zacharias the Ever-Living. Yeah, Zacharias is who does this, I believe. Either one. It's either Vlad or Zacharias, but it's not the point. Van Hel's Dance Macabre. It's a weird name. Like, who the hell's Van Hel? I mean, Gaze and Nagash, we all know who he is. This has a different name in the tabletop. I think it's Wind of Shaiish, which is the magic wind of death is Shaiish. But either way, Van Hel's is kind of like, who the hell's that? Well, Van Hel is like one of the very first prolific necromancers of the vampire counts, or of Sylvania as a whole. And after he takes the name Van Hel, his actual name is something Van Space Hell. And his entire legacy after that is kind of atoning for the sins of their father. And Van Hel, the Van Hel line becomes famous witch hunters throughout the entirety of the Empire. So that's where you kind of get that parallel with Von Helsing, which is kind of cool, right? So we'll go with that, a Stygian Frisso Von Hel. Maybe the Frisso. I like just Frisso since I'm Italian. That sounds like it goes on a pasta. Okay. This guy will just be pretty much our Invocation and Raise Dead battery, more or less. That'll be the end of that turn. Just kind of see how this progresses here. Got about 15 more good minutes in this episode. See what kind of bullshit we can get into. Ooh, Empire. They are huge. Holy crap. I want to get more blood kisses so we can get a second Lord out. We might just have to take a generic Lord and then replace it with the Blood Dragon Lord. That feels kind of like cheating to me, to be totally honest, if we're making this whole Legacy Abhorash thing. I mean, maybe we can make the argument that, no, you can't do that. Never mind. I was going to say, like, oh, he's a vampire and he becomes a Blood Dragon Vampire, but that's not the way it works. When you are a human, you become a Blood Dragon Vampire, or you become a different vampire. It's whatever bloodline kind of bites you and inducts you into it. Yeah, our strength is pretty low. And we'll get a bit of a spike when we swap out our warriors for Graveguard, because we'll just have a little bit more of one stack will be pretty terrifying. But we're having really good income right now. We're getting about 4K a turn, so that's nothing to scoff at by any means. This city is going to be pretty hard to crack open. No, it's not that bad at all. Oh, look at you, spreading your pubic order. Well, let's roll the dice. Oh, yes! Take that, Ian Brotsworth. Can't do that, so let's work on... I mean, the hero success chance is kind of related. Blocking armies, though. Damaging walls might be a little bit... That might be pretty beneficial. Dude, this is the nice thing about this, or I'm sorry, not the nice thing. The shitty thing about this is movement range is increased by an additional 5%. Oh. I guess I never really paid attention to that. Damaging walls doesn't increase the likelihood that you do damage the walls. It just and adds additional breaches to the walls, which is kind of cool. Simulate growth might be the best to help out these kind of fledgling territories, but movement range is increased by an additional 5%. Oh, it's the campaign movement. Okay. Well, I don't plan on embedding Rosalind into an army. I plan on just strictly having her assassinate. So let's go with specialist.
Yes,
Manuel here, just rampant with this, loving it.
Who wishes the red kiss?
Enter replenishment 46. Well, 8% chance to get wounded. Let's try this. All right. Well, she got a level off of it. I'm okay with it. Let's go with smoking mirror. Yeah, maybe. I like having the penumbral pendulum. It's just great to get... You're fighting all these big standard regimental lines, and having wind spells like that are so strong. It's weird that as a vampire, you don't get access to hunger until rank 8, because it's like you don't really suck blood until level 8 in life. That's like a life lesson. Okay, so we're in good shape here. Oh. Of course, if you could kindly leave me the hell alone. I'm trying to enact a war against your hated enemies. Let's take a look actually at this.
Yes?
Sterling, do you want to trade? Oh, yeah, you do.
Right.
Yes!
Who calls?
Visenland is just under the weather right now. Empire is strength rank 4. They are up there. They have 8 settlements. You can see it kind of goes up here to the Nordland. Damn, look, they've got everything. They're coming down over here. They skip over Visenland here, but then they've got the Visenland proper. Visenland still has Nuln, it looks like. And then you can see them all the way through Marienburg up into Cologne. So, I mean, they have a lot of land. They're going to be... I think that's going to be the best part, is getting to them quickly so we can have a lot of fun there. Speak now, I'll get you from my sight. Calm down, man. I'm trying to have a good day. There's shitting everywhere. Okay, let's take a look here. Still waiting 2 more turns on that. Might as well just increase our growth here. I think I've said this before in the last episode, but I always like to make the my outskirts territories more defense related. Schwarzhofen clearly isn't that case. It's my very first one, but still, you get my gist there. That way, if it's the first one they attack, there's a chance that they just take that.
Yes.
But what's it like here? Still enough Black Knight still. Nothing good here. We have to get some good piles of human corpses. This didn't really have a huge amount. I mean, probably could do some damage, but we'll see what happens. Okay, that was the end of that turn as well here. Moving on up to the Empire side. Gonna take that Galmaraz from Daddy Franz. That's one thing I always kind of wonder is what they would add for another Empire Lord. Because Empire doesn't... They've got 3. I think they need 4. I think everyone needs 4. So I think the Wood Elves need 2 more. I think the Empire needs 1 more. I think Chaos needs everything. Especially my back there. I think Bretonia needs more. But Bretonia is one of those weird ones where they had so many cool and interesting characters. And, oh, dude, Averheim just went up upon the mountainside with the moot. Just dashed on the rocks. Returnia had a shit ton of special characters and really cool characters in 6th edition of Warhammer Fantasy. In 7th and 8th edition, subsequently, they really dropped that. They had Morgana Le Fay, which is, I guess, close to the Fey Enchantress. So, I mean, it's the same thing, but not really. But it's changed over time. It's really weird. Morgana Le Fay, I think, dropped out of the 8th edition. I think her last edition was 6th edition. And that, like I said, there's a point where Warhammer Fantasy is so parallel to our universe that I think they're like, well, why don't we deviate this a little bit better and get rid of this and not have her be Morgana Le Fay and Gilles Le Breton, which is basically Arthur. Okay, good. Okay. So we're getting this for weapon strength on our Black Knights and Graveguard, then more recruitment, upkeep, and armor for our Graveguard and Black Knights. If I was playing this like in it to win it, only not doing any challenge stuff, my first vampire would have been the Necrarch, because you get a 25% research rate immediately. And he's a pretty good vampire. I mean, he's got Lore of Beasts and Lore of Vampires kind of mixed in custom kit style. So let's get this guy a barbed skeletal steed. And then really from there, we can just start filling out here. We'll get Heroic Killing Blow in 3 ranks and Immortality at rank 20. But for the most part, I don't spend a whole ton of time in their blue line. I know Assault Garrison and stuff like that can be nice, but... Kill this. I have a 100% chance of out. I mean, it's not good to kill your own bros, right? Like, that's another thing is, I wish you could be a little more clandestine in your officer or your agent actions. You shouldn't know who assassinates a character. Like, unless there's varying degrees of success. Success with failure, success and critical success, or failure with success. Whereas, like, okay, your guy gets wounded, but you also wounded the other person at the same time. Like, maybe you got caught in the process. Or failure with failure and critical failure, where your guy dies outright. I believe that they had that in Shogun and in Medieval. I can't remember. It's been so long since I played them. But I thought you had varying levels of success as according to the little tiny vignette you watched during the hero's action. I remember that in Medieval, but it'd be cool, though, if you could do... Okay, success or critical success meant that your thing went off without a hitch, and they don't know who assassinated the character. But if you did maybe success with failure, or failure, or blah 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 blah, any other thing is basically showing you that, hey, this is who tried to assassinate your character, and it didn't succeed or it did succeed. I think that'd be a really cool way to make assassination a little bit more clandestine. Like, otherwise, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to assassinate this character. And outside of Averheim, they've just now declared war in front of. So it's like a perfect scenario of, okay, great. I'm trying to undermine both these factions. I'm going to kill this person. And they're going to think Averheim did it. And they're going to get even more mad at Averheim. That's what I wish you could do. Maybe I'm thinking that way too deep into this. But I feel like that makes sense. All right, Averheim lost its army, and I think it's time to sack the city. Let's send you... I think next episode, we're just going to start going right into the Empire. We might wait a little bit to build up our Graveguard, so we actually have a pretty beastly army going into it. We'll wait right here. Look at Varys in the Blade. He's looking so badass. Oh. Let me take a look over here at the moot.
What?
Yeah, they're at war with Averheim. I hope they don't get down there before I get there. I'm gonna be pissed.
The nation calls.
Undeath Ascendant.
Ready? Agreed.
What do you want?
Moving.
Uh-oh. Aldebrand. You know the funny thing about that name, Aldebrand? It's like the name I have. My World of Warcraft character's name is Aldebrand. I mean, I have like 50 named characters Aldebaran, and I randomized the name. It wasn't like a, oh yes, it'll be named after Aldebaran, the constellation. It's always so weird when I see that in other games. I'm like, how'd they know? Here, we'll build Fort Aberystwyth up again. I wish that this reduced the cost of, like, a Fargeist and Felbats. I'm never gonna make those. Okay, Shantytown, Shadytown. Wait a minute. Doing. Boom! Let me get that. Graveguard. Yeah! Okay, good. We got Graveguard being produced right now. We're close to just sacking Aberheim. That might be the last thing we do for this episode. Is just take over the lovely city of Aberheim. Might even pop a Rosalind into this armor to get her some levels. This will be a pretty easy army to knock out here. Who hasn't moved? See, I want to kill this. I mean, what? No real repercussions, right?
Who calls?
They improve the demonic. I want to see some. I want to test something because I have no idea how this works. This isn't considering saves coming. So does doing this break a non-aggression pact? Take a look. Buckland. Guess not.
To war!
Interesting. I thought for sure that would have, like, done something, but, well, we got a blood kiss out of it, and that's all that matters. That's what I wanted. And give me more of that stuff. Sorry, Sterling. Remember, I'm a vampire at the end of the day, and I'm all about double-crossing you. Oh, Imminent Rebellion. God damn it, I forgot about this.
My will alone.
Well, I'm going to need to take Aberheim before that rebellion. I have to just kind of ignore it. Oh, look how close they are to me. Lovely. So I don't want to lose Aberheim to them. It's just going to start that war, and then I'm going to have to push this way rather than... Which, I mean, I could be down for that. It's going to make the series longer, but I want to get to the Empire, man. They're huge right now. I might have to push Vlad up to my frontier just to kind of help hold it from a public order standpoint, so I'm not constantly like folding back on myself and like trying to reinforce places I've already taken. This guy's also going to get killed by the lovely Rosalind. Okay, Colt can't perform assault garrison against Grenstad. Ha! Fool overtook. Aberheim has a new army, so that actually might stop the Moot from attacking. Look at all these juicy victims for my assassinations. I am stoked. We'll see how this turns goes. We might not attack Aberheim. That might be the beginning of our next episode, which would be kind of a cool way to open up the episode. I'm trying to get at least one fight in here per episode for you guys, so it's not like, oh great, this turn he built a level 3 keep. Get you. Let's get you on a horse, maybe. Well, Doom and Darkness is pretty good. We're up against Empire, and they have pretty shitty morale, so that's okay.
I hunt. Never.
I hunt.
This better be important.
Yep.
Strike
Dealt with that, Zacharias Posner. No doubt related to Emmanuel Posner. Power, Breath of Spirit.
I refuse.
Ulrich Mosier.
You dare.
Okay, so we'll wait again, unfortunately, but
Who wishes the red kiss?
here's 100 on that. Nice. 100 there. Liking all this. Liking all this. Let's just go to town. Yes. Grow, my Banshee. Grow. Wait, did I take Specialist and this, like, broke it or something? I mean, it's only a 3% increase in my success chance. I feel like now I have 100% to kill everything.
This night?
This tray is suspect. Okay, Vertbad. Going hog wild over there. We got a nice good amount of income from that alliance that I definitely just double crossed. Oh yeah, let's definitely do that. That'll be our big spend. That'll give us a nice amount of more money. Balefire Gold Smashery? Does that say Smashery? Smeltery, yes. Because I have 2 college degrees and I'm totally a fucking idiot.
My bloodline calls.
My bloodline is the best fucking bloodline, and I swear to God, if they hadn't removed me from the game, I'd be the reason that Warhammer Fantasy is still in play. You know, we actually have a pretty relatively low melee defense, but what's Vlad's? Vlad's melee defense is 56. This is 51. But he does have a pretty low melee attack by comparison to 84 versus 76. Huh. Oh, it's 79. Well, let's just go. Let's just raise that gap even higher. I love that all the bloodline vampires start with immortality, because that'd be such a piece of shit if they didn't. But we're actually 2 turns away, more or less, if you think about it, from getting our next blood dragon vampire. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go another turn, see what happens. Hopefully Aberheim will still be just sitting there for us. But we're going to get our Banshee down there and assassinate that Border Prince guy and that Averlin guy, and that'll give us our 6th Blood Kiss, and that'll also give us our 2nd Blood Dragon Lord. And at that point, I don't mind starting another war against Stirland, because we'd have the means to, was it propagate that war, execute that war, whatever it is. I wish that they would do a little bit. They do a lot of really cool nods to stuff, right? Like, oh, okay. People start disappearing from your cities, and all you see is a triangle scratched on the wall. Oh, Salt Garrison, you son of a bitch. Hinting at Skaven. I think it'd be cool to see stuff like kind of not hinting at the end times that it's going to happen, but you know, there's the Auric Bastion that's kind of put up, or the giant spell that Manfred von Karstein erects that basically cuts off the Sylvania from the rest of the world. Like, kind of cool things like that. That kind of like, oh, something's stirring over here. Kind of makes you kind of explain the timeline. Like, things kind of look a little more static than they actually are at the time, but show kind of the events that are transpiring in the world. Like, a lot of stuff happens at this point. When the game starts off, we see the coronation of Karl Franz, but shortly after that, Wurzog actually gets killed in the lore. He's dead, so use that to kind of have some fun with it. Patient the heck, get that. Go over here and stab somebody. Wow, why is that 100%? Well, sorry, Boris von Corden. Flesh Golem. Nice. Hates men. Great successful hero action against men. That's awesome. And let's just fuck it. Since we're assassinating, might as well keep it cheap for us. Get as much success chance as possible. All those kind of cool things. What else can we bolster over here? Oh yeah, let's definitely finish off Waldenhof. Oh, we'll get the Mausoleum of the Mad Count. I didn't even see that. That's totally worth making. Capacity 2, recruitment rank 3, cost reduction. That's 56, so we'll make that. I mean, we'll definitely have to get the Von Karstein Court Hall. I wish it could be like Blood Dragon, like Marshall Hall or some shit. That'd be so cool. I wish that, like, that'd be nifty is if the third rank of your Blood Kisses unlocked a special building that corresponded to that bloodline. I think that'd be pretty thematic and awesome.
Not likely.
Now!
Okay. So I think what we're going to do here is end... let's see. Lord not moved. Lord not moved. The Lord...
Important.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'm going to end it here. I'm not going to end the turn. We'll end it here, and on the very beginning of our third episode, our first act will just be to attack Aberheim. Go ahead and save that. Boom, boom, boom. But guys, thanks so much for watching here today. I hope you enjoy your Christmas Eve coming up. If you're anything like my family, which is this massive Italian mess, we celebrate on both Christmas Eve and on Christmas Day. So I will be busy for the next 2 days coming up here. We will have that video on the Kislev Army list coming out tomorrow as well. So be on the lookout for that. But if you don't watch that video, or you don't hear from me until then, have a great Christmas, guys, for those of you that do celebrate it. And even if you're not celebrating it like as an actual holiday itself, you're just celebrating the fact that you're off work and you're not doing anything, fucking enjoy the shit out of that day. I hope you get like Cheetos stuck in your belly button as you're just like having the best like veg out day possible. But as always, guys, thanks so much for watching here today. Have a good one and take care.